Welcome. This is for my Snow College Club, my computer science club. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be creating a GitHub repository, starting it, and then making it into what we will know as our club website. So I'm just going to walk you through what I'm setting up. So when you guys look at what we do, what I'm doing, it'll make more sense to you and you'll be able to replicate it for yourself. It also is just kind of trying to demonstrate how to do all these things by yourself, like I said. It's not going to be perfect. I don't expect it to be, and I kind of wanted to do this video so I don't have to waste the time in our club meetings. Not that I think it would be a waste of time, but I kind of want to go into creating things inside of our GitHub repository versus how to make a Blazor app, which you will learn how to do in your 1405 classes. Or sorry, not your 1405, but in your later classes. And I learned it in my OOS, object-oriented programming. So not OOS, OOP. So the first thing I'm going to do, so as you can see, I'm logged into my GitHub repository. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to select my repositories. And it's going to be nice and slow because that's how it goes. As you can see, here are my repositories, private and public and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a brand new one. We're going to be making this repository for everybody's going to be able to see it. Here we go. So repository template. I don't have any templates, so I'm not going to have a template. And if I did have a template, I wouldn't use it because I want to show you guys. So this repository name is going to be let's see, I'm going to name it the same thing as our Instagram and Gmail, which is going to be Snow Computer Science Club. Snow Computer Science Club. Yep. Description. This is going to be a repository for the Snow College, Computer Science Club. It will eventually be a standalone website. That is our goal. That's not what we're doing today, but it will be our goal. Oh, and you know what? I forgot. I want to state that it's, as you can see on my screen, hopefully, it's October 29th, 2023. Our club was made this semester. I am the vice president, Benson Bird. Our president is Bishwa, and I wish I knew his last name off the top of my head. I don't. I am a junior in the software engineering program and so forth. So we are going to add a README. For those of you who don't know, the README file is pretty much kind of a description of our entire project. And I actually have set up a README file, well, kind of the contents of it right now. Are we going to add a gitignore? Yes, I am. Which gitignore? We are going to be using Visual Studio's gitignore. I almost exclusively use Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio 2022. And we're going to do that in Snow College, so it would be silly not to. Am I going to choose a license? Yes, I am. It's going to be MIT license. And all I'm doing, this license is, honestly, I'm not the one to ask about licenses. I went to a open source project on GitHub and I looked at what license they use because I'm trying to mimic what a open source project is. And we might get into that. We'll get into that later in our semesters in our club. But all you need to know is this license kind of means that like people can use this because it's going to be public. Everyone's going to be able to see it. And like I said, I don't know a ton about license. I wish I did. I don't. We can always Google it and stuff like that. But anyway, so I'm going to create this repository. Oh, and I need to select an owner. So because I'm in Snow SE, I could select that, but I'm going to select my personal one. Sweet. I can't do a duplicate name, so that's awesome. Sweet, main branch is awesome. I'm going to create this repository. And right now, I do not want it to be public. Right now, I want it to be private so nobody can mess with it before I make certain settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the very bottom and I'm going to change visibility and I'm going to change private. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. I read and understand these effects. What? One watcher? I don't even who's this one watcher? Oh, is it me just like physically watching this? Because I'm recording this video? I do not know. That's a great question. You know what? We are gonna eventually make it public pretty soon here. Obviously I haven't told the club I'm making this, and it's gonna be hard for them to see it. So I would change it to private, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to branches, and I'm going to add a branch protection rule. So the branch name pattern is going to be main because that's our main branch. I'm going to require a pull request before merging. I'm only going to allow one. Dismiss stable pull request, remove review from code owners, require approval from the most recent reviewable push, require stack checks. Okay, so off the top of my head, I thought I would be able to figure this out. What's going to happen is nobody can push to main, including myself, right? As I'm not going to be pushing to main. I want to be creating our own branches, and we're going to figure this out later. I don't want to go into that, and you can look it up by yourself if you want. But the idea is somebody like, let's say, Joe from Russia or America or wherever from California can go in and just mess up all of our code. And so we're going to make somebody be able to approve it. That being said, I don't want anyone to just approve it. I want it to only be me, myself, who's in charge of this. Do I know how to do that right now? No, I thought it was going to be obvious. So, required sign commits, maybe? No. Anyway, I will figure that out on a later date. I'm going to type in my password. I really hope you can't see this. Blah, blah, blah. Awesome. So now nobody can push directly to main. So now we have our license, we have a get ignore, we have our readme. I'm going to go ahead and change our readme. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's okay. I have this guy set up. I hope it works. I don't know if I might have misspelled some stuff, but that's okay. We're going to paste that. We're going to preview it. Club goals. Awesome. Club goals is not going to be referencing to anything. Okay, you can read this on your own time. I'm going to commit changes. Commit update. New branch. I'm going to say Benson B. Oh my heck. I won't be able to. Nobody's going to be able to approve this because nobody knows about this branch. Oh my goodness, I'm so silly. Okay, so because I'm the owner, I can bypass this rule. I'm going to change it so I can maybe I'm allowed to. We're going to figure it out. What you need to worry about is eventually you're going to do this. It's not going to let you merge pull requests right here. somebody, which is going to be me, is going to come in and review it, approve it, assuming that you followed all of our rules and stuff like that, and do that. So I'm just going to merge pull request, confirm merge, and then I'm going to delete the branch. Awesome. Sweet. So now if we go here, we go to our README, boom, this is updated. So now everybody can come to this, right? This link right here and see what's going on. So the next thing I want to do is I actually want to make our project. So what we're going to do is I'm going to copy this guy. I'm going to go to my platform. I'm going to cd into where I want it, which is going to be Benson's Cove. This is my wife's computer. So I'm going to get clone. Git is not recognized. What? Are you kidding me? I tried this on my terminal, bro. We were running into a hiccup. Again, like I said, my computer's in the shop, so I had to download a bunch of stuff. Git clone. Okay, so that worked. Awesome. So I'm going to change directory into my Snow College. So now I cloned it. I'm going into it. Awesome. Then I can delete this guy and I can delete this guy. So now what we're going to do for best practice is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out which branch I'm on. So get branch. So I'm on main. So instead I'm going to get branch and I'm going to say this is going to be my branch. So I'm going to say Benson branch starting it all. So now if I do get branch, I'm still on main. So I'm going to get switch. No, it's not going to let me figure that out. Benson branch starting it all. Okay, so now, as you can see, I'm on my own branch, not on main. So now, what I'm going to do is I am going to .NET, let's see, I actually copied this so I don't have to try to remember. I'm going to make a new Blazor server. So instead of doing a .NET new console, I'm going to make a Blazor server, which is going to be a website server. So sweet, called CS Blazor server. So now here's our Blazor app. So what's cool about a Blazor app is that it automatically has stuff in it, and you can use the stuff and all that jazz. So what we're going to do is we're going to check it out, and we're going to do .NET watch, and this is going to run our program, our website. And it's taking a minute, and that's totally okay. I guess while that's going, oh, perfect. So, you see this? CS Blazor server, that's what we called it. This is all auto-generated. As you saw, I already have this cool website, right? I have a counter that works. I have this fetch data that does stuff. It does new stuff every time I do it. For our purposes, we don't care about these. This is cool, but it's very, I don't want to say basic, because it is really informational and stuff like that. But our website doesn't care about weather. It doesn't care about counter, and we don't want to be carrying out a brief survey, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we are going to go here, and I want to just quickly show you how cool this is before we do anything. So if we go to our index.razor, there it is, index.razor, as you can see, we have our hello world, our welcome to our new app, our survey prompt. So as you can probably tell, I can delete this, and then if I look back, this is gone. Same thing. If I say hello world, this is Benson, it's going to show up just like that. This is Benson. Oh, look at that. I capitalized when I shouldn't have. So for those of you who don't recognize this, obviously this is not C#. This is what we call HTML, right? This H1 means a header, and as you can see, this is automatically put as a P or as a, I believe P stands for paragraph. I am not an HTML expert yet, though. So that is equivalent to this. And so if you want to learn more about HTML, go ahead and do that on your own time. Right? And so we put that in the P, but that's, oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted to show. That's the same thing, right? Looks exactly the same as it was before. What I do want to show is the counter. Do you see, right? So here we have this app page. I don't believe this is HTML. This is part of the .NET Blazor component stuff. The @ sign is pretty much saying, hey, I'm going to start using something other than HTML. Usually it's C#. In this case, it's kind of Blazor's own type thing. Then we have HTML right here, right? We have a button that's click me, and on click, as you can see, on click, it calls some sort of increment count, as you can see right here. And this is where C# comes in. This is where you're going to have C# code, and this is where we're going to implement it. Again, you can learn more about all this stuff. I kind of want to just show you the broad strokes, if you're curious, and stuff like that. There are plenty of YouTube videos that already do this. I just wanted to show what ours specifically is going to look like. One thing I wanted to show is instead of increment count plus plus, right, whenever we click on the button, go to counter, right, it's going up 1. What we can easily change, and just to kind of show you that C# works, right, I'm going to say plus equals 100. So now, when I do that, I'm going to go back to my app. When I do click me, it adds 100. Just like that, right? You guys understand that. You see how different that is. That's awesome. That's the idea, is that we're going to be learning. But instead of this hello world, welcome to our new app, what we want is we pretty much want it saying at index, this is our home page for Snow College Computer Science Club. And we can make that delete that, and instead of that, instead of index, we're going to say awesome. And maybe we should rename index.razor to home. So what I want to do now, we're going to go forward, and I'm going to make, we want everybody to have their own file. Does that make sense? We want everybody, I want a Benson file, I want a club file, and then I want, you know, like I said, Bishwa file, and then all of our club members' files that they can add to. So where I'm going to put that, instead of pages, I'm going to add a new folder, and I'm going to name this student club members member pages. So right here, I'm going to add a new file, and I want it to be similar to, I want it to be a Razor file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, oh wait, I don't want a file, I want a folder. I'm going to say new folder, and this is going to be me, mine specifically. I want Benson. I can put my last name. Seems fine. Oh man, we should have put something specific in there. We want a new folder inside that, and it's going to be during, this is going to be clubs. Club, awesome. So in my Benson, I'm going to add a new file. This is where my component stuff is. So I'm going to say in my stuff, let's say I, Benson, want to be doing something fun that has something to do with, I should have thought this beforehand, with bunnies. So I'm going to say well, yeah, I'm just going to say bunnies. Dot razor, lowercase razor. And I'm going to say this is going to be at page / bunny. And the first thing I'm going to say, I'm going to put in some HTML stuff. Ooh, not imports. Thank you though. Sorry, this might be easier if you guys, let's go ahead and go to my extensions. Again, I just barely did this. So C#, I want to, oh, it's already installed. Sweet. Do you want to install the recommended dev kit? Sure, absolutely I do. Next thing I want to do is Blazor. Blazor snippets? Blazor VS Code, maybe? Oh, that looks promising. And maybe we'll also do an HTML. Full HTML, please. Are you sure you want to install? Oh, it's no longer being. Okay, well then remember, I just want this guy. Okay. Sorry, I am all over the place. I hope that you can still follow along. So bunny.razor. Detected installation. Would you like to relaunch language server? Yeah. So usually. Okay, cool. So now it will hopefully recognize when I start making HTML elements, but we'll find out. Okay, so when I make I don't want imports. This is a new device. We're just gonna put in a title. Awesome, it does recognize title. That's nice. That's nice of it. Again, you don't have. This is HTML. I don't expect you guys to understand HTML, but you can look at mine and know what's going on. Bunnies. So the first thing I want to do. So boom. Do you see how this thing is a / pages? So if we go over here and we go right here, I'm going to say / bunnies. Oops. I said bunny, didn't I? Okay, that's something. Let me put like, this is the right page. Maybe now we'll be able to see something. This is the right page. Okay, so now we're on the right page. Do you see how that makes sense? So instead of /bunny, what I want to do is I want to actually do a /Benson. /bunny. Right, because new file. I'm gonna say home -razor, and home. You guys can make your own homes because you're going to be in different files. For this time, I'm going to say at page, and this time I'm just going to do /Benson, and I'm going to say this is Benson's page. Awesome. Does that make sense? So now when I go over here, bunny is no longer at the address, but how about Benson /bunny? That's the right page. That's the bunny page, and the Benson page is Benson's page. Booyah! So what we're going to do is, instead of this counter and fetch data right here, I am going to, so you're going to do this, and you're going to say, oh, I want something, and so you're going to push it to, anyway, we're going to do that in just a second. This is something you're going to be doing, right? You're going to add Benson, but instead of Benson, you're going to put your own name, and then you're going to have a home, and then you're going to have some sort of game, and you can do all this stuff that you want to do. And as a club, we're going to go in here and we're going to do something in our club meeting to kind of show off what we can do and what we can practice. But to show what the idea is, I'm going to go to shared, and at nav menu, instead of all this stuff, right, I want to do something very similar to this. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and copying code is bad, but bad practice. But the idea is this href I'm going to put as Benson. And then we're going to say Benson's pages. Does that make sense? Instead of, this is the thing that we have, I'm going to do io dash person. Oh, come on, I know you have pop-up. Dash person. Maybe it won't. Hopefully you have all the extensions you want. But the idea is, we'll come back. You see Benson's pages, I'm going to click on it, and it's going to go to Benson's pages. I can go back home. This is the home page for Snow College. Right? Then we're going to say, this is Benson's home. Instead of the home, I wanted to put a person. But it's not recognizing. Usually it'll say everything. Maybe I can just eyeball it and just assume that that's right. Yep. There's my person. So now my hope is that we're going to have just a bunch of these down here, right? We're going to have me, we're going to have Bishwa, we're going to have blah, 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 we're going to have blah, 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 right? And all this stuff. And then at home, we'll be able to, we're going to have our Discord link and stuff like that. But I can do that on my own as a separate video. What I want to show is I've done all that. The next thing I'm going to do, I also want to have club meetings pages. So instead of href to Benson, we were going to href to club. So on members pages on club, we are going to do a new file, and we're going to say home.cs, .razor, we want razor pages, and we're going to say at page, and this is going to, what did I say, club, and we're going to say this is the club's pages. We will be adding stuff to this during our meetings. We save all that, so then when we go back, club meeting pages is the club pages. Awesome. Yep. Cool. Awesome. This is gonna be sweet. The other thing I wanted to kind of show off is, let's say I want, let's see, no, we can do that in a new video. A different video is going to show how we can use Blazor app and stuff like that. What I do want to show, so I'm going to kill that. Control C is how I killed that. Control C. I did my Control C. Now, if we go look, attempting to reconnect, it's not going to reconnect because I killed it, right? I did the Control C thing. It's not going to work. Yep, site can't be reached. Cool. But now I made all those changes, right? So why isn't it showing on GitHub? I wanted to make all those changes. So what I'm going to do is I made all these changes, and now I want, if I'm in your shoes, I want to push it to GitHub to my branch that I made. Remember how I'm on a different branch? Oh my heck, it doesn't recognize Git still. Oh no, it does recognize Git. Awesome. So now, I'll git branch. So I'm on a different branch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do git add all those changes I made. Warning. Yep, that's fine. Git commit. Now I'm going to say Benson pages and club pages page. Git commit, and then I'm going to do git push, and it's going to tell me, hey, that didn't work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow exactly what they said I should do. I don't think I know Visual Studios 2022 doesn't let me do this, but does. I'm going to try to copy that and then try to paste it. Yeah. So you don't have to copy and paste it. You can just write it out, right? Git push, set up string origin, and then you're going to put that branch name that you had. So I'm setting it up string. I'm pushing. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, there you go, git, and then we're going to do our git push. And again, it's going to get mad at us that we're not pushing to the right. Okay, I'm still on the right. Okay, well, just let me get pushed. Never mind. So now you can see what I'm doing. So usually there's this yellow thing, and you're going to do this compare and request. If you don't have this yellow thing, that's totally okay. What you're going to do is you're going to come down here, new pull request. Do you see how that has a 1 now? So I can preview it. Oh, here we go. This is where I'm looking. So as you can see everything that I've did, right? So I made a brand new project. I did a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to say, right here I can add some more descriptions and whatnot, but Benson pages and club page is descriptive enough for me. And I guess, and Blazor server. Server. Okay. Create pull request. And this is where you guys would stop. And what I would do is I would click right here on a review. I'd look at what all the code that you compared, right? Remember how I scrolled down, there was a bunch of screen stuff? I would see and I would review it. I'd make sure that your code doesn't break the system, it doesn't blah, 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 right? I'm going to make sure you don't have inappropriate things, or I'm also going to make sure that you don't mess with other people's code. So, but because I own this, I'm going to be able to do this merge request, confirm merge. And then I'm going to delete the branch. I'm deleting the branches because I don't like multiple branches being live. So what I'm usually going to do is I'm going to merge request and then I'm going to delete your branch. If you guys don't want that, please make a comment to it. But it's good practice to just delete those branches. So if you make a new branch, you can still name it the same name, right? I can make another branch that's exactly the same name, and it's not a problem. But I don't want to come here and look at all these branches and have 20 branches, right? And after I merge them, I'm just going to delete them, right? I only want so many branches. I don't want a ton of branches. Sweet. And so now you can see all the stuff I changed. Sweet. So that's what you're going to do. I hope that makes sense. Please, if you have any questions, please go to our Discord, right? Ask me personally or whatever you can. And I will be able to answer those. We're going to talk about this in the meeting, but I wanted this to be set up for my meeting, and I didn't want you guys to be in the dark, so I wanted to record this. Thank you for listening. The last thing I'm going to mention is feel free to add dependency injections. Don't worry about this. This is more for the juniors and seniors. They're going to know what this is. Don't feel overwhelmed when you hear dependency injection. Don't worry about that. If you're going to add a picture, do it to the www root folder. This obviously is not a link. Don't pretend it is. Whoops, that's going to screw it all up. Don't put anything inappropriate. Again, if you're not part of the Snow College Club, or sorry, if you're not affiliated with the Snow College Club, or you're not at Snow College, right? If you're a UVU student, like I encourage you to join the Computer Science Club at UVU and figure that out. But I will not be merging anything that you don't have some sort of proof, or you can't convince me that you're in Snow College and stuff like that. Don't mess with other people's repositories. The goal is to learn. Don't copy and paste a bunch of code from somebody else's. Right? We're here to learn. Don't. I mean, you can, and I most often won't be able to stop you if you just copy somebody's code and it's like, oh, look at what I did. Like that's cool, and I'm definitely going to be impressed, and that's going to be really cool. But you shouldn't be doing all this to impress me. What the goal is to learn, grow together, and I want to be able to post this. So instead of right now, unless that thing is running right here, we'll be able to see it. Eventually, we're going to have it, so you can literally type in, you know, Snow College Computer Science Club.com, enter that, and instead of this, it'll literally show what we were looking at, and you'll be able to send this to, your mom and be like, look what I go to this page, look what I did. I literally made it so you can do something, right? And I also want to show you that you can do this on your own, right? I just showed you how to do this. You can make it on your own Git repository. The only thing that's different about this club thing is that you're going to be able to just copy a link and send it to somebody who doesn't understand how to Git clone and then run it as a program and stuff like that. So hopefully that all makes sense. Um, thanks for listening to me